and welcome to another episode of InfoScope. I'm your host, Hannah Kim. It's once again time for the latest from the IT and science worlds. Let's begin with a quick look at some of today's stories. Flexible displays can be bent into other shapes, and these days we can even wrap them around our wrists or ankles. But what they really need more than anything else is a flexible touch panel. Until now, conventional panels were made of brittle materials, but Korean researchers have come up with a new jelly-like material that may be the future of bendable touchscreens. But before this story, we're going to take a look at a clip about the second Scientific Technology Strategy meeting that was held at Cheongwade last month. At the meeting, the government announced 9 projects it will pursue over the next 10 years. For more information, let's now turn to Briefing Scope. The government announced 9 research and development projects that it will pursue over the next 10 years. These projects are made up of 5 new growth engines such as artificial intelligence, virtual reality, and augmented reality, and 4 projects for better quality of life, including precision medicine and biopharmaceuticals. Korean researchers have developed a transparent touch panel that is more flexible than conventional panels. The researchers succeeded in registering handwriting after connecting the panel to the computer and confirming that despite stretching the panel by 10 times, the touches were accurately registered. Korean researchers have developed a biosensor that can diagnose dementia and other diseases with 1 drop of blood. These highly sensitive sensors are close to being commercialized, and the researchers plan to conduct clinical trials to apply the sensor to other diseases. If this technology does end up being commercialized, all it will do is take a drop of your blood to check your body conditions and your health. And I think that will save us a lot of time at the doctor's office. Now, moving on to the next part of our show, temperatures are cooling off by the day, and I am loving the autumn air. But did you notice that we still have mosquitoes around? Even when you're with a group of friends, you may have noticed that some people get bitten more than others. Why is that? We'll find out in just a moment. And speaking of the autumn season, spring and fall are great for many festivals. Different types of festivals like flower festivals, music festivals, food festivals, and more. But can you believe that there was an adult-only science festival that was set up in the form of a club? What type of entertaining science performances can you find here? Take a look at this next video to see a glimpse of what this club was like. Here's Industry Inside.
At a first glance, this looks like a regular rap battle. But upon closer look, you'll see that they are cells and chromosomes. This is a live internet broadcast show about science. The speakers are talking about quantum mechanics in everyday life, drawing the attention of audience members and viewers far away.
이 상자 안에는 양주가 있었습니다. 그런데 50%의 수액스가 같이 있었죠. 상태가 중첩됐던 거예요.
There are scenes from a science-themed performance open only to adults, held at a venue that looks just like a club. 8 performances drew the audience into the world of science with upbeat dance and music.
19금이라는 게 되게 자극적이잖아요. 그래서 더 이목을 끈 것 같기도 하고 더 재밌는 것 같기도 하고.
평소에 과학과는 좀 멀어질 수 있는데 이런 SNL이라는 이런 프로그램을 통해서 좀 더 과학과 친근해지고 그리고 과학과 좀 더 쉽게 접할 수 있도록 하는 기회여서 참 좋은 것 같아요.
These entertaining and informative science projects are no longer solely for children, but a hit among adults as well. Mosquitoes look for prey by sniffing them out. Even from a distance, they can detect the unique scent of a person's sweat or breath. Mosquitoes can smell a person's sweat from 20 meters away. Sweat contains extracellular byproducts like lactic acid and amino acids, which give it a distinct smell. Mosquitoes seek targets by following this scent. Experts say that after drinking alcohol, the decomposed substances of alcohol are mixed in the sweat, making a better signal to mosquitoes.
대사 물질들이 그 땀을 통해서 나가게 되고요. 또 호흡을 통해서 배출되고 또 소변을 통해서 배출되는데 이 땀에 섞여 있는 술의 그 알코올 분해 물질들이 술 안 마시는 사람보다 더 많이 나오기 때문에 모기들이 더 몰릴 수가 있습니다.
Moreover, metabolism is higher in children than in adults because they are still growing. Babies in particular have a significant metabolic activity, giving off a unique scent and making them prime targets for mosquitoes.
나이가 어릴수록 이제 그 분비물이 많이 나오게 되고 또 모기들이 냄새를 더 잘 맡게 되죠. 그래서 어른하고 아기하고 같이 자게 되면 모기들은 다 아기 쪽으로 가요.
As mosquitoes target their prey based on subtle body smell, experts recommend that you take a shower after sweating a lot. Homemaker Han Jae-hee is a mother of 2 children who has allergies and breathing disorders. Han cleans every nook and cranny of her residence in the hopes that a clean house would improve her children's conditions, but to no avail.
제가 청소를 한다고 하는 편인데요. 어떤 게 문제점인지.
Han even considered moving because of pollution from the nearby road, but it turned out that improper cleaning techniques were to blame. The amount of fine dust emitted by a vacuum cleaner was measured. After using a vacuum cleaner, the amount of fine dust actually increased. The bleach used for cleaning bathrooms contains higher levels of harmful substances than the safety standards, and detergents only made the situation worse.
표백제와 세제가 함께 만나면 기화가 되면서 유해가스가 많이 나오기 때문에 특히 아동들 같은 경우에는 3-4배 정도 유해성에 더 취약하기 때문에 잘 유의해서 사용하는 것이 좋겠습니다.
Open the windows before using a vacuum cleaner and try to vacuum from the outside to inside. Experts also recommend using eco-friendly solutions like baking soda or citric acid instead of bleach or detergents. This is Levi's Stadium, the biggest American football stadium in the United States. Visitors use a smartphone app to buy tickets and check parking spaces and even waiting times at public toilets. They also use the stadium's Wi-Fi network to check where their seats are and order food. The MLB's LA Dodgers professional baseball team is fostering sports venture companies that develop wearables for analyzing players' movements or mobile apps that help fans work out with their favorite players. As conventional markets become oversaturated, IT specialists are pioneering new markets by combining IT with sports. This phenomenon can also be seen in Korea.
스포츠가 이제 새로운 신기술과 접목이 돼서 새로운 신산업을 만들어낸다는 데 큰 의의가 있는 것 같습니다. 특히 우리 그 작은 스타트업들 중에도 이러한 개념을 접목시킨 사례들이 많이 나오고 있습니다.
The government was quick to recognize the potential of this new industry and has set up 4 goals, which include building smart stadiums that utilize IoT technology or augmented reality, and developing services that present match information in unique ways.
스포츠가 산업으로서 육성을 되려면은 과학기술과 결합을 해야 되고 ICT랑 결합을 해야 되고 글로벌로 나가야 됩니다. 또 글로벌 진출을 하기 위해서 많은 창업, 스타트업을 키울 예정으로 있습니다.
The Ministry of Science, ICT, and Future Planning and the Ministry of Culture, Sports, and Tourism will form consultative bodies and finalize support policies by the end of this year.
Wait, that smartphone app is one of the coolest things I've ever heard. I can now check waiting times for public restrooms on just an app. That shouldn't be just used in the stadium, but everywhere else. In any case, we have more interesting stories like this coming your way. Let's now talk about robotics. Previously on InfoScope, we presented stories about how robots are helping people in different industries. But now, robots can imitate animals. How can this end up being a useful technology? We'll find out shortly. And in the world of medicine, the number of patients with autism is on the rise, not just in Korea, but also around the world. And the causes of the disease are still unknown. However, Korean researchers have conducted numerous research projects, raising the possibility of custom treatments for patients. Let's take a closer look at these stories on Take a Peek.
People with autism have problems with social interaction and communication. The number of patients has been on the rise globally, and today there are 10 times more patients than 30 years ago. Last year, the number of patients in Korea approached 8,000. Many theorize that autism is caused by excessive synapses in the brain, but no one could give an exact explanation. Consequently, there have been difficulties in developing a cure. However, Korean researchers have presented a string of research results that may prove to be a breakthrough. Autism could be caused when cells that remove excessive synapses in the brain do not function as they should. Researchers observed lab mice that had a reduced synapses removal ability and found that these mice spent 50% longer on their own and compulsively repeated specific actions more often than unaffected mice.
이 쥐들이 사회성이 결여가 되고 강박적인 행동을 하게 되는 등의 이제 자폐증 증상을 보이는 것을 관찰하게 됐고 정상 쥐에 비해서 더 많은 시냅스들을 갖고 있는 것을 관찰을 했습니다.
Researchers also found that there must be a certain level of zinc in all nerve cells. But when this level is disturbed, synapses work abnormally.
환자 중에서 특히 어린 시기에 이제 한 두 살에서 한 4살 정도 사이에 다른 정상 그 아동들에 비해서 뇌가 더 빨리 커지는 그런 현상이 보고되어 있습니다.
As different aspects of autism become uncovered, hopes for effective, customized treatment are growing. This is a scene of Spider-Man chasing a train. The villain throws passengers out of the train, and Spider-Man quickly creates spiderwebs to save them. There are now robots that can imitate real spiders. These robots can create nets similar to actual spiderwebs. Once a spot on a wall is selected, the robots work in tandem and use carbon fiber as an imitation of spider silk to quickly build a net. This spider robot sticks to an airship and repairs holes. Until now, this kind of job required shining a large lamp on the surface and manually looking for holes. Developed by Lockheed Martin, this robot uses a built-in lamp to not only look for holes smaller than pinholes, but also repair them.
We created Spider to allow for inspection of the envelope in parallel with final assembly and maintenance actions. This significantly reduces the number of man-hours required for efficient operations of the airship.
The researchers aim to improve the Spider robot so that it can function even when the airship is in motion. Spiders may be shunned in everyday life, but they have inspired a very useful technology.
Wow, what a jam-packed episode. Just to recap, we have spider-imitating robots, an adult-only science club, and an app that can change the way we enjoy sports. Now, if you like this episode, make sure you join us again next time because we have more informative and interesting stories ready for you. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you back here, same time, same place next week. Have a wonderful day, and goodbye.